Good morning. It's Vijay here. Welcome to yet another episode of pre-market commentary. Today is Friday, 11th of October, 2024. Please note I am not a SEBI registered advisor. Whatever I talk about is my personal opinion. If you like the kind of data and information you get from this episode and others, kindly like, share, and subscribe. That will help us to reach more number of people, and that will only give me encouragement to do better. Not that I'm unhappy with the number of subscribers who have been very loyal and got quality subscribers. And thank you for all the love and affection you have given me for more than 6 months. Uh, so the title, if you look at the title frame, it's a little provocative. But the reason why it's provocative is that it pertains to Bank Nifty and more specifically HDFC Bank. That is an iconic scene. The title photograph is an iconic scene of a very famous OTT serial. People who have seen that serial, be very gripping, would know what the dialogue actually means. But that is very much applicable to what is happening as far as our markets are concerned today. So if you will talk about it a little later, but how did the markets perform yesterday? As I keep saying, markets today is basically markets yesterday. Nifty opened higher because the Dow Jones and Dow Jones are closed about 430 points higher the previous day. So there was a lot of enthusiasm across the globe. Asia was doing well. Japan did well. Hong Kong, of course, did well. And later there was a talk of some more, but some more goodies to come from China. That will happen tomorrow. We will know what the final contours of the scheme is when they announce it tomorrow. But anyway, the market could not hold its high because primarily because of IT, which fell off, and TCS. So I would assume that insiders knew that TCS will not come up with great results, so it fell dramatically from the high. I think SEBI should note these kind of things which are happening just before the result season. So you had the mid cap also, it snapped two session gaining streak. Pharma index, which had touched a high day for yesterday, was led down significantly by Lupin, which fell close to 6%. Small caps did quite well. Even micro caps did quite well, independent of what was happening in the Nifty. Nifty, of course, closed flat, but the main story yesterday was about Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty for once didn't bother what Nifty did, though it was yesterday was Nifty's weekly settlement. Bank Nifty held on very strongly, led by Kotak Bank and to some extent HDFC Bank. So we have to see whether this will continue, because I have believed that the next leg of the rally will be led by Bank Nifty, and mainly Bank Nifty components in the private sector banks, HDFC, Kotak, ICICI, Axis, and IndusInd. But it has always flattered. Nifty Energy was up about 0.3%. Power Grid and Tata Power were the leaders. And autos advanced. Ashok Leyland did well. Samvardhana Motherson did well. Bajaj Auto did well in the initial stages, but then again it gave up. Probably, I think the autos are doing well because next week is the Hyundai IPO, the largest IPO which has come in this country. We talked about IT snapping four session gaining streak. Realty also came down, and FMCG declined for second session, especially ITC, which is surprisingly it broke 500 and it is trading at around 492, which is surprising. What did the FIs do? FIs continued to sell close to 5,000 crores. DIS could not match it. They bought close to 4,000 crores. That is why there seemed to be weakness, especially in the frontline stocks, which was mainly led by the FMCG, I would say, and IT. How did the global equities perform? Yesterday, you had data on in the US. One was the consumer price index, and the other was the jobless claims. Uh, Now it was a very interesting set of data where the consumer price index went. The CPI numbers came in hotter than expected, but in my opinion, it is going towards the 2% target, a random target which Fed has set. So it was about 2.3 or something. Instead of it should be 2.2. So not much of a difference there. Maybe for a very short term, things could have changed. Dow Jones actually fell off during the week, during the intraday session, but closed almost near the flat line. S&P also and Nasdaq did reasonably well coming off from their lows. Dow Jones did a spectacular comeback, more than 200 points off the lows. DAX, FTSE, and CAC, the European markets were lackluster. Commodities, what they did was oil went up. Now there is some sense of disquiet among the commodity market, especially because Israel apparently had a high level meeting and decided what they should do on the Iran issue. We don't know whether they will do anything, and what if they do, how it will affect the markets. We really are not aware. America is trying to broker a peace deal, but Israel being Israel, it doesn't listen to anybody. So one should keep a eye on that. Gold also recovered, silver recovered more than gold. So this was 3% of the previous day, and now it has recovered. Copper, zinc, all the metals recovered, probably because of the uh, China incentives which may come tomorrow. Now, Amphi September data was very interesting. The While the positive was the monthly SIP has gone to all-time high, 24,500 crores. First time it's crossing 24,000 crores. What is interesting is that 34% of the AUM today held by mutual funds is through SIP, which is very, very significant. It was about 20% a few years ago. Today it is 34%, which means stability will be there as far as the mutual fund flows are there. Though on a month-on-month basis, flows may fluctuate. As last month, September, for instance, there was less amount of flows vis-a-vis August. But that is not material so long as you have a high degree of the flows which go into the AUM, and if it is about 34%, it is good, and if it grows, then we don't have to worry too much. Interesting thing here, NSE decided that in their weekly settlement, SEBI had given them a choice, so they have decided on Nifty. BSE is decided on Sensex. So all the others get thrown out of the window, which is very, very good in the medium term. Of course, it will get hit on the NSE valuations because Bank Nifty was the biggest grosser in terms of volumes and therefore income for NSE. But it is also the biggest hurdle for the retail investors who not hurdle for profits. I would say they made huge losses by trading in Bank Nifty options. So that is good. It's gone. Global news, as I said, the core CPI rose 0.3%, estimate was 0.2%. But whatever it is, jobless claims, this was one thing which increased. So the Fed has got a dual mandate, which they have to look at inflation and employment. So unemployment is increasing. So it is likely that they will cut 25 basis points in November. Previously, it was 50 basis points, was what the market was expecting. And then it became to only about 85% of chance of getting 25 basis points even. But after yesterday's numbers, it has gone to almost 100%. So earnings season started with big bang. TCS is below estimates. In fact, it is lower than what it was last quarter. Revenues in line and margins are below estimates. So you will have a hit on TCS in the morning, but there is, let's say, two points of opinion, two views among the FIIs. Some of the guys say that we should be buying on all declines because this is the bottom, and from now onwards, TCS should go up. That is the spin which the TCS management is giving. Then securities, many of the securities are going into ban, so that is something which we need to keep in mind. Interestingly, yesterday they have in Bandhan Bank there is a new CMD. The new CMD is come from IOB, who turned around IOB between 20 and 22, and therefore I expect that the Bandhan Bank will have good days. I identified something similar in RBL Bank when RBL Bank fell below 100. When a new CEO came, who had also turned around IOB. I mean, he was one of the guys who was there in IOB who did some wonderful job, and so he came into RBL, and RBL took off from around 70 rupees to 280 rupees within a span of 2 years. So I expect Bandhan Bank to do well. They've already reported good results, but Bandhan Bank is one of the most hated banks because people have lost money like they had lost money in RBL Bank. I don't know whether it will do exactly like RBL, but we hold it in the hope that the turnaround has happened. So that is as far as the markets are concerned. If somebody asked me whether why am I only looking at the bullish side, why not look at bearish points? I'm looking at the bullish side only because I believe that we have some more distance to go. And in a bull market, it's always nice to trade on the direction of the trend rather than go against the trend. However, as I mentioned in the past, 50% of the stocks are in actually bearish market. So I am bearish on stocks in PSUs and PSEs, and not so much on PSU Bank because I think they're already at the bottom. The PSUs, the defense stocks, for instance, Mazagaon Dock, or the even the BHELs of the world and BELs of the world, I feel they will have a tough time. So one can do what we call the SOS, which is sell on strength. One can also sell stocks like Hindustan Lever, Nestle, Asian Paints. They will be going up for the Deepavali, but I think their results will not be that great. Similarly, with cement stocks, Ambuja or ACC could be good candidates for looking on the negative side. At least I won't short this market, but for people who are looking at wanting to do something, I would ask them to just consider them. I'm not giving any advice here. I'm just saying there is a broad swathe of market where things are not that good. Even pharma, for instance, I wonder why Lupin has gone up so much, or Sun Pharma or Cipla. I think they need some rest for a very short term. They will correct, I feel, and then maybe they'll resume. But I am mainly long in banks. Even in intraday, we do only long in banks. But whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you very much for joining.